There's real trouble in paradise for Harry and Meghan. No, seriously. But as ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Hope you're all keeping fine and dandy today. Let's have a big wave. Yes, come on. Yes, for those that are new, we like to have a wave. It's our exercise, isn't it? Everybody nod, that'll do. I tell you what, it's cold here today. And you know, when you sort of say, oh gosh, people, I keep seeing people running past, you kind of feel so unfit, don't you? You think, ooh, wish I could do that. Then you think, I'll just have a sit down. Yes, all have a wave. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a big yes. You're doing well. I know it's exhausting. You can put your hand down now. Yes, I can see the glass you're clutching. Let's move back to the breaking news story of the day. Well, this particular story, seriously, is rather fascinating, I think, because you know what it's like when you're a couple. You tend to sort of pick and choose your friends, their friends, and then you try and amalgamate the two, don't you? But not everybody always gets on with that particular person. It can be tricky because as you go further down the route, what it's normally said is that you shed people. And we've seen this, haven't we, with Harry and Meghan? He had a lot of good chums, but then seemingly many of them have been, shall we say, sidelined while they've developed new contacts, more profitable ones, maybe more high profile. And I'm being kind here, as you could imagine. So it's difficult because with Prince Harry, what he wrote in his book has really created, according to a very good source, a huge division. And as ever, let me explain. As you know, he was twittering on a lot about security and the problems and all that sort of stuff regarding that forthcoming wedding to the cable TV actress Meghan Markle. And she openly spoke about the fact that they didn't want to provide security. Amazingly, though, I do remember at that particular period, other paparazzis were tipped off when she popped outside of Kensington Palace to visit Whole Foods in Kensington High Street. In fact, if you remember, Meghan, we saw each other outside there. You must remember that, of course. Now, what's interesting here is he then detailed how, according to him, that she never really received any security training. This is the training that royals undertake basically because if they get kidnapped or, somebody tries to block them in a car, then they are fully trained, obviously, to know how to deal with that sort of particular situation. He denied it had ever taken place. Good friend of theirs, that's right, the one that Meghan spoke to that then claimed to the British court she didn't remember, but then suddenly remembered, i.e. lied to the British court, basically is stated differently in their book. Now this, according to a very good source, has created a division. And as ever, let me explain, because it's fascinating. As I say now, there's a crack in that friendship because while one of them, Meghan, would very much still like to keep this particular option of friendship open, according to that good source, the former royal known as Prince Harry, seemingly has finished with them. This was him setting the record straight. And for anything now moving forward, particularly after those damning, shall we say, emails that were leaked from their former personal assistant, Jason North, they know, or should I say, Harry knows at least, that perhaps they're not as trustworthy as they first thought. And as I say, what's now more interesting is that both of them, one thinks they should keep the person and the other thinks they shouldn't. Now, it's difficult, isn't it? Because either way, allegedly, one's now working on a second book. But given the fact that both were openly lying about their contacts and what really they had in terms of access regarding the first book, who's ever truly going to believe it? But as I say, moving forward, it looks like at least at this particular point, Prince Harry could have seen something of the light. But apparently it's a light that Meghan's not ready to switch off just yet. Maybe there's a little bit more juice to be squeezed out of that particular individual in the future. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.